Here we go. Yes! It worked! All right, everyone. This free 3D printed plane comes courtesy again of Oliver C. If you head over to rcgroups.com, go to this link in the description, you're gonna find his planes. And here we go, the Rifter 2 forward swept flying wing. This is where you're gonna download all the files, all the good stuff, all of his recommendations, read through it, and enjoy. He's got videos. We head over to his YouTube channel, bada bing, bada boom. He's got his own building and putting it together. All the good stuff. So I don't really need to do it. I'll give you some of my tips and tricks in my video, but this is where you're gonna go to get everything, print it out, and have a blast. Let's jump into the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Neil Diamond. Now, Neil Diamond didn't always fly. Destroyed. Destroyed. Nose down. Neil Diamond now flies. That was going about 60 miles an hour at 10 amps. Well guys, this was a little bit of a harder 3D print, and harder because, well, you know, you can see the Chick Swift behind me. That one just worked. That one was no problem. This one I had to put a little bit more effort into it, and we'll go over some of these changes that I made, and you can decide for yourself. Now, yes, 3D print this thing. Obviously, you're gonna know this configuration flies. I think a lot of my failures had to do with my launching technique, but we'll get into all that. But first, I wanted to show you the finished product, the setup, after it's been flying in the air, no more revisions, yada, yada, yada. So, take the camera off the stand and we'll go over this. So here we have it, the Neil Diamond. We'll start the very back of the plane here. So the motor that I'm running, this is the T motor, this is the F60. This is a 2350 kV with a 6x42 inch prop. This is the setup that I stole from the Chick Swift. As you can see, no motor. The Scimitar and the Rifter both share the same motor design. So swapping these is actually a piece of cake. The only thing you have to do is you have to drill another hole, because the orientation for the mounting bolt is up and down versus side to side. The original motor that you saw in the crash videos is this Adam RC motor. This is a 2306, this is a 1600 kV. This is pretty much my setup for the Dolphin. And I used that 7-inch prop on here as well. As far as the electronics package goes, well, this has got the same electronics package as my other two aircraft. Inside, we'll open this hatch. We are running the F405 Navi from Adam RC. This is running INAV 6.1. I had INAV 7 on here. Of course, it crashed, probably not because of INAV, probably because of the plane setup. And the Adam RC GPS that comes with it, I'm not sure what it is. That is a Beta Super D ELRS antenna, or receiver, excuse me, with their antennas. We'll go ahead and open up the battery bay. Again, really nothing fancy. We'll move this little power cable over here. I use, since this has a the data link connector for the USB hookup, is on a cable. I just made this little angle mount thing and printed it, so that way I can just hook my cable up like that. It's at an angle, makes it nice and easy. And besides showing you what's inside of here, I really have no reason to open this hatch anymore. There is a hole up here because in my initial testing, if you watched in the video, I had a run cam mounted on here. I actually had it mounted backwards to get some rear video of the prop. But with all my crashes, I took it off. I did not want to waste a camera or anything like that. And some cabling running all the way up to my DJI 03 air unit. I sit on my chair here and roll this up. So now we're up here at the front of the plane, my camera set up. Again, DJI 03. What I did to set my camera up is I grabbed this file off Thingiverse, the Hewing camera mount. Because of the angle and everything, it just worked really good to get the camera at the right angle to fly. I had to make a small correction to raise my OSD and INAV, and this works great. Now, I tried to hot glue where I can hot glue. I tried to avoid super glue at all costs because once you super glue something together, it's permanent. And this whole nose was super glued together. If I busted this, I'd have to print this whole dang fuselage again. So for my camera setup, I went ahead and I just 3D printed this little rectangle plastic piece. This, the VTX mount and the camera is all glued to this rectangle piece, and then this is hot glued to the nose. So if I bust this nose off, all I gotta do is grab this thing and just peel it off, and I can put it back on a new nose, not having to reprint every little piece because it's all made as one. Just makes it nice. This is just a little bit of sticky tape. That is just to keep the wires down. Nothing more than that. This is the antenna mount. This is an old, from a crashed swordfish. This is just like a wing spar. Just a little plastic square tubing. That's just pushed down into there and hot glued as well. The wiring just comes out through here, and I just have a little piece of sticky tape over there. I really don't like to use hot glue as much too as well, because I can pull this on and off for whatever reason. It's all about, you know, these 3D printed planes, especially getting them to fly. If you break them, you want to be able to get the thing apart and do everything real easily. My wing setup. So, if you watch Oliver C's build video, he glues the wing locks in, he glues the servo trays into the wing. I did not do that. There are a couple reasons why I didn't do that. Number one, they almost will just sit in here and stay put by themselves without any problem whatsoever. And that makes it nice because if you damage something, you're not having to keep reprinting and reprinting and reprinting. Like this piece right here, if I damaged this, I have to reprint it, and then I have to reprint this, and I have to reprint this, and everything else just makes it nice. The vertical stabilizers are not glued in. They are actually just pressed in. It is a nice tight fit, works well. I'll put a link up. I used these Heim joints or ball and socket or ball joints or whatever people call them in this hobby. And then I got some M3 rod to go with it. And then I just bent mine into a hook. I feel like this hook works way better than making the Z-bend. This makes it easier to, just keeps a lot of the slack, the slack that can be in there out of it. So I do the fishing hook style method. What else do we have? Let's flip her over. I also 3D printed these latches. I did not use his spring lock mechanism. I 3D printed these. These are from Painless's 360's Thingiverse. I got them on the Dolphin. I got them on that, I believe. And they just work great. What I did below is I just ran an M2 screw and I double nutted it on the bottom. That way, even if I do this a bunch and the screw moves, and the Allen screw moves, it doesn't loosen up, and then I just put a dab of hot glue. Also, for my hatch, if you can even see it, the hatch has a M3 nut underneath there, and I just took a piece of blue sticky tape and just kind of squished it up in there. And that allowed, that just kind of keeps that nut captured, as they would say. The antennas just come out through here, just a little dab of hot glue to hold them in place. We'll open this back up too as well. I don't think there's anything else in here. The flight controller is just using double-sided sticky tape. That's it. I believe he makes a flight controller mount that grips onto the spars on both sides. I didn't want to do that method. I just like using the double-sided sticky tape, and that works for me. Let's go ahead and I'll get these covers put back on. We'll flip the plane over. Before I flip this plane over, I want to show you, this is where I had my battery mounted. This is that Tattoo R-line. This is a 2000 milliamp lithium ion. And I have a little line that I drew on my tray. But that got my center of gravity balanced out just right. And now we'll flip this thing over and I'll show you where the CG marks are. So now we're looking at the underside of the plane, obviously. These landing skids were included in the file. These are hot glued on. As you can see, this one came off in the video. These are a wearable item. You don't want to super glue these things on here. You super glue them off, you wear them down to nothing, then you're just, they're stuck on there. This little wear skid right here as well, which is built into the fuselage, worked perfect. I'm probably gonna do one last thing. I'm probably gonna put something on the wingtips that just come down, just to keep the thing from sliding and scuffing these all to heck. So if you're looking on the bottom of this plane, and it might be hard to see, and I'll try to get a good view of it, because it's also kind of covered up with tape. There is a little tiny bump right there. That's where the bump is. You can kind of see where it's like pushed the tape up. That is where your center of gravity is, or that's where the markings are, and that's what I went off of. And that worked for me. At first, when I took the plane off, I thought it was really nose heavy. It wasn't. It was just that my OSD was off, my artificial horizon was off, and that's why it was doing what it was doing, I think, as of this moment. Because it was flying really good afterwards. In manual, it flew nice and level. Just my OSD was a little goofy. Other than that, as you can see, I tape over my wing. These wings are on there tight. I mean, these locks, the locks on this plane, I believe work better than the locks on the Scimitar. Or maybe just the carbon fiber the rods just fit in there tighter. I'm not quite sure. But I just tape over these just to give that wing a little bit more seamless design. And that's it. Looking around on the back, I had to use an I think this is an M4. This is an M4 screw. I could not find an M3 without having to buy 1,000 of them. So I got this at my local hardware store. It's a little bit overkill, but that's what I went with. I also mounted my, you know, in your motor you get your little wiring harness. I mounted this on the top because I felt like if it was on the bottom, I don't know. I don't want to shave these or catch it on the, I street land a ton, so that's why mine is mounted up top. Don't want to shave the wires down on the concrete or whatever I may land on. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the build. So let's continue on with the video. Okay, everyone, let's do this. This is number 4. We got our mods with the extension, our motor, our prop. I think we're good. Welcome to Siberia, by the way. It's freaking 5 degrees Fahrenheit this morning and some snow. This is gonna work. Woo, shoot. All right, it's colder, so the air is technically thicker, which means it should have more lift. And these are just things I'm telling myself to help me not get discouraged. Oh yeah, INAV 6.1 rocking. Okay. Just launch, baby. Jesus! I was not ready for that. Here we go. Yes! It worked!
Manual mode.
Oh, it is super duper nose heavy. Oh, it freaking worked. Oh my God. Look how beautiful this is. It's in angle right now, dudes. Just trying to get it to auto trim. Oh, holy shit. I don't know if you can see me or not, but holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. I definitely got to move my OSD way up. All right. Let's see if I put it in manual. Oh my God. Check out this barren landscape. Okay, so back at angle. Right now, I'm going to put the thing at about 10 amps. So at 10 amps, 52%, I'm doing 50. I don't really want to stab it right now. Oh yeah, she is so smooth. I guess I'll stare and face the camera. It is so smooth right now. It is so smooth. I'm letting off the stick. Up. It's coming down. Man, I just think I need to maybe pick it up a little bit with the mode. Ooh, I'm at 700 feet already. Wow. Okay, let's go manual. She's pretty good. I turned the rates down in this thing just because I wanted to see. I thought that might have been an issue. Let's fly. I guess let's get this thing level. Let's fly inverted. I would say it's definitely, I can't tell, man. Dude, it flies good. I just gotta get my artificial horizon fixed. Oh, it flies so good. Let's pull this thing back. Let's get some height. Oh, I'm so fucking cold. My fingers are numb right now. Oh, I'm just so glad it flies. All right.
Navigation.
Let's cruise. Let's check return to home, see if that works.
Navigation. Return to home.
It's descending down to my altitude. Turn that off. That works.
Navigation.
Cruise works. It's leveling itself out. That works. Oh, she's definitely porpoising quite a bit. Definitely. Let's take cruise off. Oh my God, I'm about to land this son of a bitch because my goddamn hands are numb. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you what we're gonna do. Oh, I don't have auto-tune set up. Son of a gun. That's all right.
Acro mode on.
I'll definitely have to get an auto-tune in it. Oh, it just barely launched. I mean, it just barely launched. It barely made it. Let's do a little flyby in manual. It is so smooth. The plane is flying. It flies great. It flies so good. Oh, this winter landscape just looks so surreal right now. Watch out for the telephone lines. It is just flying so good. I'm in manual, just so y'all know. That was going about 60 mile an hour at 10 amps. Just cruising. Oh, my voltage, my battery is about to die. Holy shit. I'm about to...
Horizon mode.
We're gonna bring it down. Dude, that was a butter landing. That was absolute butter.
Disarmed.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was super smooth. The only problem I had is my artificial horizon on my goggles, which you can't see because I have freaking DJI, is just set low because of the camera angle. I can raise that in INAV, no big deal. Oops, we got a part. One of the skids that I hot glued on. Dude, there she is. Oh yeah, baby. The best, the best. Thank you. All that hard work. Countless wrecks. A smoother throw is what I gave it. I'm gonna set this down and we'll talk in a moment. All right, guys, it flew. It flown. I can't talk. My lips are like sticking together because they're frozen. I changed so much on here. It's going to be hard to say what did it. As you can see in the videos reviewing them, like I think I might have been throwing the damn thing too hard. And it was just caused, when I was chucking it like this. I don't know. The smaller prop and the higher kV motor, maybe that did it. Maybe the wing extensions did it. INAV 6.1 versus 7. I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that this right here freaking works. So if you're gonna do this, this is the setup you need to do. I can't even think, it's so cold. I have my servos set to continuously trim in INAV. So whenever I launch a plane, I fly in angle mode or horizon, and INAV is trimming the thing to get it to fly nice and level. So now that it's done that, I have a little bit of a reference point, and I'm wondering, I can tell you the wings, the ailerons, they have quite a bit more up to them. So maybe that, I don't know. I wanted to go over the servo trimming, the amount of reflex on the wing for this plane. So, you know, once you get the plane up in the air and you can get INAV to continuously trim servos, once that is done, your launches after that will be a piece of cake. But it's that first launch, getting it into the air, which is all the trouble that I ran into. And again, I believe I had multiple problems, my throwing technique, but I do believe that I did not have enough reflex in my control surfaces. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna turn the camera So you can see the amount of deflection that I have on my wing. This is where INAV ended up setting everything. When I originally started, that's about 6.5 millimeters. When I originally started, what I set it to was about 2, which was about that. So it ended up needing quite a bit of reflex to get this thing to fly. Now, is that because it's nose heavy? I don't know. Or is that just because this is what it just requires? And the good way to measure this is get yourself a micrometer. And what I did is I used the end and I just set it on this tip right here and went to there. That gave me something to measure. And I'll measure it right now. And 6.4, 6.5. Again, I had mine set at 2, and obviously it was not enough. It was not enough. So I believe this was a big contribution to why the plane was just so difficult to launch. Hope that helps you out. And that's why you'll notice in my INAV settings, my midpoints are not at 1500. They were when I started, but that's how much what you see now is what INAV had to do to correct it. So back to the video. All I know is it flies, the sun is coming out, still freezing, and oh my gosh, guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap. So watch through all this video, all the wrecks, all the do's and the don'ts. You make your own decision, but it does work. Keep an eye on the channel. I'm gonna be swapping this little tiny LiPo out. I'm gonna put that big Z 5,000 milliamp battery and get this thing up in the air. We're gonna put some LEDs on it, you know, Daddy Jeff style, and continuing the hunt to get this thing dialed in. I will have my INAV settings at the very end of this video so you can see the final setup. And thank you guys very much for watching. See ya. Bye.